Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something I know is on your mind. That jump from advanced English, that solid C1 level you've already got to, well, true fluency, the kind that really opens doors.
Exactly. And how that fluency connects deeply with achieving your biggest life goals, your ambitions.
We know you've put in the work to get to C1, so this isn't about going back to basics.
No, definitely not. We're looking beyond just grammar drills. We're really digging into how honing your already strong English skills can be this powerful catalyst.
Boosting confidence that, spills over into everything else.
Precisely. Think of this as mapping out those next crucial steps, turning aspirations into, well, reality.
And we've got a great article to guide us. It explores this link, offers real strategies, and honestly, some really inspiring stories.
Yeah, from people who've actually done this.
So our mission today is pretty straightforward. We want to give you insights, maybe a bit of a spark, to bridge that gap between very good English and being truly fluent and, importantly, confident.
And to see this language journey as, absolutely integral to your bigger picture goals.
Okay, first things first. There's this term that comes up sometimes, broken English.
Oh, yeah. I really dislike that term. It's so negative, isn't it? Suggests something's wrong, fundamentally flawed.
Right. So maybe the first step is reframing that whole idea.
Absolutely. We need to unpack that. Because true fluency, it isn't about chasing some mythical, perfect native speaker standard.
Which doesn't really exist anyway, does it? Native speakers aren't perfect.
Exactly. We stumble, use informal language, make mistakes all the time. Fluency at its heart is about effective communication and confidence.
Confidence seems key.
It really is. Native speakers often just push through errors because the focus is on getting the message across, not on flawless grammar every single time.
Okay, so for our listeners who are already at this strong C1 point, what are some concrete things they can do? Practical steps to get towards that sort of next level of fluency.
Right. Well, a really crucial first step is to consistently dive deep into authentic, complex stuff.
Meaning move beyond the textbooks and graded readers.
Definitely. Actively seek out real-world English. That could be literature, maybe academic journals, if that's your field. Publications like The Economist, The New Yorker.
Sophisticated podcasts, too. The ones not necessarily made for learners.
Perfect example. The key is engaging with material where the language is rich and, well, challenging.
So it's not just about vocabulary harvesting.
Not at all. You want to really pay attention. How are sentences structured? What's the tone? How are idioms used naturally? In context.
Absorbing the nuances.
Exactly. It fine-tunes your ear, your understanding of the subtleties.
Okay, that makes sense. What's another strategy?
Start actively exploring let's call them the gray areas of the language.
Gray areas. You mean like nuances?
Yes. Nuance, connotation, implied meaning. English is full of it. Take a simple word like thin. You've got thin, slim, slender, even gaunt.
Right. They all mean similar things, but you wouldn't use them interchangeably.
Precisely. So start asking why. When would a native speaker choose slender over slim? Notice these choices in what you read and hear. Question the usage. It really deepens your grasp.
That's a great point. What about speaking? Pushing the boundaries there.
You need to actively seek out challenging conversations. Don't avoid them.
Easier said than done sometimes.
True, but look for chances to debate something, discuss abstract ideas, maybe negotiate something in English.
Situations that really stretch you linguistically.
Exactly. They force you to articulate complex thoughts more precisely.
Any tips for getting over that, fear factor?
Maybe start small, lower stakes situations, a language partner at a similar level, perhaps. Create a space where it feels okay to take risks, to make mistakes without judgment.
That sounds sensible. You also mentioned something else, prosody and intonation.
Ah, yes. Crucial at this stage.
Why is how you say things so important now?
Well, at C1, you're generally getting your meaning across. The what is usually okay. Now, the how adds another layer of meaning and naturalness.
Like the music of the language.
Exactly. Pay attention to the rhythm, the stress patterns in words and sentences, the intonation, how the pitch goes up and down to convey emotion or emphasis.
And how do you work on that?
Listen closely to native speakers you admire. Try mimicking them. And recording yourself. I know it feels weird at first, but comparing your speech to a native speaker's is incredibly insightful.
Okay, adding that layer of polish. What about writing? C1 writers are often pretty good already.
True. So the focus shifts beyond just accuracy. Now it's about style.
Style, like making it more engaging.
Yes, engaging prose, persuasive writing, maybe even elegant phrasing.
Hmm.
Experiment. Play with different sentence structures. Use rhetorical devices maybe. Improve your transitions for better flow.
And seek feedback specifically on that, not just grammar.
Absolutely. Ask native speakers or advanced tutors for feedback on the style and the flow.
Got it. Now, the article mentioned a lexical notebook, but with a twist. What's different?
The difference is moving beyond just word lists. It's about context.
How's...
Note down collocations, words that naturally go together, like make an effort, not do an effort.
Ah, right. Common pairings.
Exactly. Record idioms too, but always with a full example sentence showing how it's used. And this is key. Note the context where you found it. Where did you hear or read it?
So you remember how to use it, not just what it means.
Precisely. Contextual learning sticks much better.
Makes sense. And another interesting idea was teaching what you know. How does that help you?
It's surprisingly powerful. When you try to explain, say, a tricky grammar point or a vocabulary nuance to someone at a B1 or B2 level.
You have to really understand it yourself first.
Exactly. It forces you to structure your thoughts clearly, and it often highlights any little gaps in your own understanding. It really solidifies the knowledge.
Like the ultimate test of understanding. Okay, last strategy you mentioned was deliberate practice. What's that about?
It's about being systematic. You identify your specific weak spots in English.
For example?
Maybe it's phrasal verbs or conditionals, whatever you struggle with. Then you focus your efforts specifically on that area. Don't just passively hope it gets better. Work on it deliberately. Study phrasal verbs in context. Write your own sentences. Try using them.
Targeted effort.
Targeted, focused effort. That's deliberate practice.
These are all really practical. And the article brings them alive with some stories. Let's talk about Priya. Software engineer, indie at Canada. Her technical English was great, but something was missing for her.
Yeah, Priya's story is great. It shows that high-level functional English doesn't always mean your personality shines through. She could handle the technical stuff, no problem.
But felt her self-expression was basic. Didn't reflect her.
Exactly. Joining Toastmasters was huge for her. That fear of public speaking in English, which I think a lot of advanced learners feel, actually became a catalyst.
And it wasn't just about perfect speeches, right?
No, not at all. It was the practice, the feedback, learning about pacing, structuring arguments.
Skills that boosted her confidence overall.
Massively. It seeped into her everyday interactions. Her personality came out more. It helped her career, too.
That's fantastic. Then there's Javier, the chef from Spain who moved to the UK. Amazing cook. But his English was holding back his dream of opening a restaurant.
Javier's story really hits on how fluency is crucial for conveying passion, for connecting with people. He had the skill, the talent.
But couldn't sell it effectively. Couldn't share the story behind his food.
Right, or negotiate well with suppliers. So he did this intensive C1, C2 course focused on business and persuasive English, and he immersed himself in food media in English.
So it was more than just learning food words.
Oh, much more. Practicing describing his dishes enticingly, learning negotiation language, developing rapport. His growing fluency let him share that passion. It was vital for his restaurant's success.
These stories really drive home the point, don't they? Fluency is way beyond grammar.
It's confidence, nuance, authentic self-expression.
And the article points out that honing these language skills build other valuable skills too, transferable ones.
Absolutely. Let's unpack some of those. Think about resilience. Getting from C1 to true fluency takes serious dedication. You hit plateaus.
Oh yeah, those moments where progress feels stalled.
Pushing through those builds mental toughness. That resilience is invaluable when you face setbacks chasing any big goal in life.
It's like linguistic resilience, training for life resilience.
You could say that. And then there's goal setting and strategic planning.
Because you had to plan to get to C1 in the first place.
Exactly. You set a goal, pass an exam, understand lectures, whatever. You broke it down. You made a plan. That's the same strategic thinking you need for launching a business or changing careers.
It's all connected. What about adaptability? Learning a language, especially immersing yourself.
It definitely fosters adaptability and openness to new perspectives.
Yeah.
You encounter different ways of thinking, different cultural nuances.
You learn there isn't just one right way.
Precisely. That mental flexibility is crucial for innovation, for navigating complexity in any field.
And obviously, better English means better communication skills overall.
Clearly. Better listening, understanding subtle cues, expressing yourself with more clarity, more empathy. These are fundamental skills for networking, teamwork, persuasion, everything.
And finally, the article links it to self-awareness and confidence. How does that work?
Well, the process itself, identifying a weakness, working on it, seeing improvement, that builds self-belief.
Each successful conversation, each well-written email adds a little brick to that confidence wall.
Exactly. It reinforces your capability.
Yeah.
You start thinking, hey, if I can master the complexities of English, maybe I can tackle that other big challenge too. It builds a really solid foundation of confidence.
So the skills are directly transferable. Now, the article moves to a more universal toolkit for making dreams happen, and it's amazing how much overlap there is with language learning, starting with defining your dream clearly. The SMART approach.
Yeah, that's foundational, not just a vague wish. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound.
Just like setting good language goals, not improved pronunciation, but
Right. Improve my lust with 15 minutes practice 3 times a week for 1 month. That level of clarity. It works for any goal.
that parallel is striking. Okay, tool number 2.
Breaking it down. Big dreams can feel overwhelming, right?
Totally paralyzing sometimes.
So you break it into micro goals. Small, actionable steps. It creates a roadmap, gives you momentum. Each small win fuels the next.
Like learning 5 new idioms this week, or mastering 1 grammar point.
Exactly the same principle. It makes the impossible feel possible.
Next up, visualizing success, but also considering the obstacles.
Yes, mental contrasting. Visualizing the win is motivating, but you also need to realistically think about what might go wrong.
And plan for it.
And plan for it. So imagine nailing that presentation in English, yes, but also anticipate, what if they ask about X technical term, and prepare how you'll handle it, being ready for bumps in the road.
Crucial. Then there's cultivating a growth mindset.
This is huge. Believing your abilities aren't fixed, that you can develop them through hard work, dedication.
Seeing challenges as learning opportunities, not threats.
Exactly. Persisting through setbacks. Viewing effort as the path to getting better. For language learning, it means seeing a plateau not as failure, but as a sign you need a new strategy, an opportunity to push further.
That's a really empowering way to look at it. What keeps us going, though, on these long journeys?
Finding your why, your deep intrinsic motivation. Why does this dream matter so much to you?
Connecting to that core reason.
Yes, that's the fuel when things get tough. Why do you want better English? Career, connection, access to information. Remind yourself of that why often.
That internal driver. The article also stresses building a support system.
Absolutely vital. People who believe in you, offer encouragement, give honest feedback, celebrate wins. Mentors, peers, friends, family.
For language partners, tutors.
Exactly. Your personal board of directors supporting your goals.
And failure. It's almost inevitable sometimes. How should we view it?
Not as the end, but as feedback. It's part of the process.
A learning opportunity.
A crucial one. Analyze what happened, learn the lesson, adjust your approach. Mistakes in English. They're not failures, they're data points showing you where to focus next.
That's a much healthier perspective. Next, prioritizing relentlessly and learning to say no.
Because your time and energy are finite. You have to focus them on what truly moves you towards your goal.
Which means saying no to things that don't align.
Respectfully, yes, it takes discipline, knowing what really matters. For you, maybe it means carving out dedicated English practice time and saying no to other, less productive things.
Being intentional with your resources and committing to continuous learning.
Lifelong learning. The world changes, language evolves. Staying curious, engaging with new material, refining your skills, it's essential for growth, in English and in life.
And finally, underpinning everything, taking consistent action.
Yes, dreams need action. Consistent, focused action, even small steps, taken regularly.
Daily habits.
Daily habits are incredibly powerful, much more effective than occasional huge efforts. That 15-20 minutes of daily English practice, it adds up significantly over time.
It really does. The article shares 2 more stories. Kenji, the scientist from Japan in the USA, brilliant written English, but struggled with presenting and debating.
Yeah, Kenji's story shows that written skill doesn't automatically translate to confident spoken performance, especially in high-stakes situations.
Like academic conferences.
Exactly. But he was strategic, took presentation workshops, got tutoring for Q&A practice, analyzed good speakers.
So he targeted his weaknesses deliberately.
Precisely. He learned about structuring arguments for a Western audience, using signposting language, adjusting his delivery. It shows that targeted effort pays off.
And then there's Aisha, from Somalia to Sweden, a refugee learning Swedish and English while building a catering business. Incredible resilience.
Aisha's story is just Wow, a testament to human spirit and the power of language. Her English was limited initially, understandably, but her drive to build a new life fueled her learning.
And the English was vital for her business.
Absolutely. Understanding regulations, talking to suppliers, explaining her business plan. Language was fundamental to rebuilding her life and achieving her dream against huge odds.
So inspiring. Both stories really underline how linked language is to our aspirations.
Deeply linked, especially English being so global. It opens so many doors.
And the journey itself, as the article concludes, it's more than just skills. It's self-discovery, empowerment.
Finding your voice, expressing your authentic self on a bigger stage, and the discipline, the resilience, the problem solving you learn.
Those become assets for any dream.
Exactly. Invaluable assets.
So for you listening, remember, C1 is already amazing. You're a skilled communicator. The next step is refinement, building that unshakable confidence, using English with more precision, more impact.
Let this journey be proof of your capabilities. Overcoming language challenges reminds you that you can overcome other obstacles too, towards those big aspirations.
Your voice in English is powerful. Use it. Articulate your vision, connect, learn, persuade, lead.
The path to fluency mirrors the path to any great dream. Consistent effort, learning from experience, and believing in your own transformation.
Embrace the journey. Keep cultivating your unique voice. Step towards those dreams.
The world is definitely waiting to hear what you have to say.
And that wraps up our deep dive today. The big takeaway. This journey to advanced English fluency, it's way more than just language.
It's powerful training for achieving your biggest dreams. It builds essential life skills and that core confidence.
So as you think about this, maybe consider, what's one specific part of your English communication you want to take from very good to truly fluent and confident?
And how could mastering that unlock a specific step towards your biggest dream? What's one small, deliberate action you'll take, maybe even this week, to move that forward?